All right, guys, we got more cool parts for the KLX110 build. Today we got some parts for the ignition system. So what we have here is an Amr Stage 3 Cdi Rev Box, and this is going to be replacing our OEM box. And then we also have their AMR high intensity discharge coil. So first, about the Rev Box. What this is going to be doing is advancing your timing, changing the mapping curve. They're claiming giving you the most advanced and aggressive mapping curve, possible with the tolerances and the specs of a KLX110 motor. So anyways, this Stage 3 box can be used on a stock bike, but they have a Stage 2 that's better for a stock setup, and the Stage 3 is mainly made for bikes that have aftermarket parts such as big bore kits, carb kits, and a pipe. Now, my bike's got a 143 big bore kit, it's got a Mikuni 26mm carb, and it's also got that V2 head on it. And then we're gonna be throwing on a Pro Circuit pipe as well. So the Stage 3 kit is the way to go for me, and this is gonna give me great horsepower increases throughout the power band, but they really claim that it gives you good throttle response on the bottom, and then the mid-range to the top, you definitely get more power there, and then obviously it's raising your rev limiter. Some people say it's like 800 to 1000 RPM, something like that. So anyways, but I've heard bad talk about rev boxes in general. People say they put them on their bike and the bike blew up prematurely or something. But whenever you put a performance mod, especially ignition stuff, you can't just ride the bike to the moon, on the rev limiter all day, like wah, bah, 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 bah. You can't do that, You're not Justin Barsha. You don't have a factory bike. It's a KLX110. It's a pit bike. You're probably 200 pounds. So don't put a rev box on there and think that you're a factory rider and you're going to hold it on the rev limiter, because you're going to blow your bike. If that's how you want to ride your bike, keep it stock rev limiter, and you can hold the thing wide open, float the valves all day long. So that's my little story to tell you about rev boxes, is that when I put this on, I'm gonna be cautious. Yeah, I'll hit the rev limiter here and there, but I'm not gonna ride the bike on the rev limiter the whole time. That's just not good. So anyways, this is gonna give us great power throughout the power band. And then our coil that they, accompany, this is kind of like a package deal. This is gonna offer 34% more intensity to the spark, and then they also claim that it helps with the recovery rate. So every time the spark goes off, this coil is going to charge quicker than, let's say, the stock coil, so that your sparks are going to be consistent. So you don't have like a hot spark and then kind of a cold spark and then a hot spark. You're going to have good sparks throughout, your running time, and that's what this is really going to help with. So this is going to be changing our mapping curve. It's going to be, making the timing advanced, and it's going to give us power throughout the whole power band. This is going to be giving us good spark, clean burn, burn that fuel as best as possible. And as a package deal with all the parts I have on my bike, this is going to be a great performance upgrade, and I hope that we're going to get at least a horsepower or two out of this with all the other mods I'm throwing on, together. So anyways, let me show you where the stock stuff is in the bike. I'm not going to show me, assembling it or anything like that, because it's so, basic plug and play, but I'll show you where the stock stuff is, and then we'll show you once it's all finished. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, so we got that ignition box installed. Super easy, just plug and play, goes right into the OEM connector. That's how I like it. No issues, no splicing of wires or anything like that. So yeah, Stage 3 box is in, but if you come over here to the coil, you notice that I still have the OEM coil in, and because I have that, anyways, start over. All right, guys, check it out. We got the Stage 3 ignition box installed, easy as it could be. Just plugged right into the OEM connector, no problems at all. That's how I like it, full plug and play. But when you come over here, you'll see I still have the OEM coil on. And the reason I still have that on is because the aftermarket coil that they supply with the kit, when I started to look at stuff, it's more of a universal coil. They sell this for a bunch of different bikes, and for me to put it on here, I'd kind of have to rig it up, and I'm fine with that if it works right. But the issue is that this cable, the spark plug cable, is too short. It doesn't run all the way across to the other part of the cylinder head like it would need to. So I would have to throw this on the other side of the frame, and even then I would still have to rig some stuff up. And I can't find any instructions on how to do this, a super easy, responsible way. So I'm not gonna run it. And I looked online, and they do sell aftermarket coils just like this that I could literally plug and play and throw right on. So that's something I might go for, but as of for this coil that came with the kit, I'm not gonna run it. I'm gonna run the OEM coil, with the Stage 3 ignition box, and that's gonna be completely fine. You know, maybe, you know, the spark's not gonna be as great, sure, whatever, but I know that coil works. I would rather do that than rig this one up. So that's that for the ignition system. And you guys will hear the bike run and the whole rev limiter and all that kind of stuff later once I get the bike together. But for now, it's on to more parts. All right, guys. Guys, we got some more parts of the bike. We got an Outlaw Racing anodized blue shifter lever, and that's gonna be replacing this shifter lever I have on there right now. I believe this is a Two Brothers Racing, but the bummer is that it was bent by the guy that owned it before, then he bent it back out, and it's just kind of weathered, doesn't look good, you know, just not complimenting my bike at the moment. So this is gonna be a better option for me. This is definitely, you know, like more of a budget shifter lever. It's like 30 bucks. You could get like a more expensive BBR one or something, but this is gonna be fine to replace that guy right there. And then this will just go into the spare parts bin for the bike. So anyways, let's look at the final product and what it looks like with this guy installed. All right, here it is. All right, guys, check it out. We got the bike really coming together now. I got that wheel back from my guy who trued it up, and guess what? This thing is straight as an arrow. I am so stoked. Boom, straight, good, tight. Those BBR spoke kit looking awesome on there. The heavy duty spoke kit with the Pro wheel rim looking great with the stock hub. And then I got some new sprockets, if you can see, JT Racing sprockets. And yeah, this back sprocket, steel sprocket, it's heavier than an anchor, but guess what? It's steel, it will last long. Definitely will outlast the aluminums, but hey, maybe I'll get aluminum in the future. But anyways, 33 tooth in the back, 14 tooth on the front. We got the gold 420 DID chain looking awesome, looking great. That's gonna be a major upgrade for when we're hitting huge jumps. Wouldn't want that thing to snap. You're gonna have a bad time, that happens. And anyways, so yeah, drivetrain's all fresh. I used my same chain guide, the KLX110 style from my OEM swing arm, and then I drilled the different hole to make it work on this, because this is a CRF50 style chain guide. So we made that work. I'm stoked because that is a nice chain guide. I also have a chain roller that'll be installed up here to guide the chain in once that comes. But yeah, the back end's looking super fresh. New swing arm, new shock, new sprockets, new chain, new rim, and new spokes, so that's all awesome. On the other side, you can see the brake extension rod that they supply from BBR, and I got to cut it down still because it comes for a 2 or 4 inch swing arm. So pretty much it just extends that brake rod. It just threads on. You cut the spring down a bit, throw the spring right there, and then you just cut this down to length. And some people run this flipped up, some people run it weird, but this is going to work out great for my setup. The brake's working great. For now, I will put a disc brake conversion on in the future, but the drum, it's gonna work. So anyways, BBR swing arm looking great. New wheel and tire combo is gonna be working awesome. That new chain sprocket setup is gonna be strong, and that's gonna dial us in for some huge jumps. And everything's looking good back here. So back end's all done. And then on to the next thing is gonna be getting rid of that pipe, going to a Pro Circuit pipe. And after that, I have a JTI engine cradle. That's a skid plate and foot peg mount kit, so it gets rid of all this stuff under there, and that's gonna be sweet. So anyways, guys, stay tuned for the next one. We'll be throwing the pipe on, we'll be throwing the engine cradle kit on, and then we'll be getting the whole thing together and tearing up some stuff. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Guys, check it out. We got some cool stuff in today. We have an aftermarket exhaust system for the 110 build, and we're finally gonna get rid of that stock pipe because it's been choking my big bore kit badly. So anyways, we have the Pro Circuit T4 exhaust system right here, and this is a gorgeous and very well designed exhaust system. I have it on my Dual Sport 650 and I love it. It's worked great over the years. And anyways, for the 110, it works almost even better, I would think, because of this thing right here. Now this is their quiet insert, and it goes into the exhaust pipe like this, and it pretty much quiets up this aftermarket pipe, because a lot of the aftermarket pipes are obnoxiously loud, and some of it is almost unnecessary. So BBR also makes a quiet insert that everyone says is maybe even more quiet than this, but a lot of people said that this is one of the best setups you can do. So anyways, this gets inserted the pipe like that, boom, and this baffle system right here kind of just puts a little more back pressure on it, and it quiets it up a bit. You do have to jet it a tad bit leaner than you usually would if you had this can just straight open, if that makes sense. About 2 numbers leaner is what everyone's kind of, suggesting, what I'm thinking. So anyways, but you guys may be asking, like, why are you gonna run this quiet insert, Mike? Why don't you just run the pipe as it is, be loud, freaking sound like a 150R? The reason I'm gonna use the quiet insert is I live in a magical place called California. And in California, the land of the Priuses, everybody hates dirt bikes in general. They hate dirt bikes. They hear them from a mile away. They're calling the cops. So anyways, quiet insert is going to keep it quiet. It's going to keep those grumpy people from getting pissed off. And then I can go ride in some of the best areas in the world that are actually here in California for riding and not get the cops called on me. So that is the goal. All right, so quiet insert, boom, it's going to quiet up the bike, even though it's going to be a full mod practically, and it should work out hopefully fine. Anyways, we also have a brand new exhaust gasket right here, and a lot of people online are like, oh, you could reuse the old exhaust gasket. I don't know why the hell you guys would reuse an old exhaust gasket. It's like $1.50. Go to any store, any dirt bike store online, get one, wait the time, because come on, use that. You have a brand new $200 pipe, use a new exhaust gasket. Using an old one is like using a Q-tip round 2. You're not gonna do that, guys. Come on, that's gross. So anyways, let's get the quiet insert in the pipe, and I'll show you guys the install of the pipe. And then in a future vlog, we're gonna hear this thing rev up, hear the sound, and also be jumping this 110. You best believe it. All right, guys, here we go. Install on the pipe. All right, there we go. That thing looks sweet. I am so stoked on this pipe, guys. That is just like massive upgrade over the stock setup. It really is. Thing looks gorgeous on there. Boom. Looking so good. And install super easy, takes a few minutes. Just, 1 bolt up there, 8mm T-wrench. And then you got some 12 mils down here. And yeah, that header is just way, the design of it, the size, everything is just light years beyond stock. Here's the stock pipe, look at this thing. And the craziest part is, this is what people talk about drilling out. Look at that diameter right there of the header. That is insane. That is literally right there. That's 50% smaller than what this guy is right here. And it's not like the head isn't, like the head is not that diameter. The head is larger. The exhaust port is larger than that. So this is gonna be at least 30% better flow for sure. So anyways, guys, really stoked on this pipe. This is gonna be a lot of horsepower, increase really for being a 143 kit with this racing head and this 26mm carb. Like, this is a huge upgrade for this bike. We're gonna rejet that carb here in a second, put some bigger jets in it. But the thing I wanted to touch on that I'm kind of bummed about is that quiet insert I was talking about, because once I opened the box and went to go install it, I realized that the diameter of this piece right here is slightly larger than the inside diameter of the can, so this wouldn't even slide in. It wouldn't work. And the crazy part is I ordered this specifically for this pipe, and it said it was gonna work, so pretty bummed about that, guys. So maybe don't be ordering the quiet insert for this pipe, or maybe it's the wrong type, I guess. I'm not sure, but too late for me. I already opened it, but luckily it'll fit in my 650 pro circuit can over there. It'll fit in that. So I guess if I want to quiet up that bike in the future, we can do that, but that's street legal, so who cares about that being quiet, right? So anyways, we're gonna run it just as it is, which I guess is cool because that means that we're gonna do larger jets. So I'm gonna do a 185 main instead of a 180, I think actually. So we're gonna be getting some horsepower. So anyways, that's the pipe install. Thing looks great, bolted right up beside that. I threw a little washer in right here to accommodate for the bigger size tire, just to kick it out a bit. So that's that, and look at that thing. So gorgeous. So it's on to the next thing now. We got the pipe on. Let's rejet that carb. And then after that, let's put a JTI skid plate / peg engine cradle assembly on. That is gonna be cool. All right guys, here we go.